Hey guys, welcome to my month 15 post VSG update. I hope you are all doing well. I feel like it's been ages since we talked. I'll just jump into my spiel. I had vertical sleeve gastrectomy, which is a weight loss surgery, on October 20th, 2016, in Morristown, New Jersey at Morristown Medical Center. But I'm from New Orleans. I live in New Jersey now. My starting weight day of surgery was 265. I am 5'8". I am now 31 years old. Last month, I came to you at goal weight, which was 165. This month, I come to you at 169.4, which is a 4.4 pound gain for the month. But to be completely honest, I'm really happy with that. In the 7 days after we last talked, I was on vacation and I gained 8.2 pounds. After that, I had 15 days of normalcy and I lost 5.3 pounds. Then I was on vacation again for 6 days and I gained 4.8 pounds. And I've been back for 3 days and I have lost 3.3 pounds. So, I think I'm in the very beginning stages of maintenance, but I don't think maintenance will always be this up and down because I'm not always going to have 2 vacations every month. So I'm actually really pleased with where I am. And to be completely honest, I feel so good, so confident about where I am and about my ability to maintain my weight. I've talked to my dietitian about what a normal maintenance range is, and I think for normal people, if there is such a thing, people not trying to actively affect their weight, she said that their weight can fluctuate 2 to 3 pounds up or down on any given day. So that's like a 6 pound range that is relatively normal. So that's what I want to aim for. So if my goal weight is 165, I will consider myself to be in maintenance range if I'm between 162 and 168. So yeah, right now I'm at 169.4. I want to lose it a little bit again since, I went on vacation and gained some weight, but I feel like I can do it. I feel really good about the fact that even though on vacation I gain, when I come back and I get back to just my normal routine, not starving myself, not any crazy kind of crash diet, no all liquids, no pouch reset, no teas. I feel like just going back to normal, I lose the weight again. So maybe I have a good set point, or my body just really likes that way of eating and that level of activity and that level of caloric input and deficit. But when I just go back to normal, I lose the weight again, and I feel really good about that. So my point is, I feel like I'm in a healthy place to sustain this long term. I don't feel like I'm, like I said, starving myself or depriving myself. I feel really good with the way I'm eating. So, I can visualize myself eating like this and living like this in the long term. And, I talked with a few friends about what maintenance would look like, and I didn't know if maintenance would be you just eat whatever and you gain some weight and then you work really, really hard to lose it again, and then you gain and then you lose. And, if it was just going to be this endless cycle of battling the weight forever, because that sounded really depressing to me, or really difficult at least. But now I'm starting to realize that if I just stick to this normal routine, I shouldn't gain. And maybe I'll lose a little bit, and maybe here and there I'll gain a little bit if my routine changes or whatnot. But I feel like if I just stick to the caloric input and the caloric deficit that I have now, I'm in a good space to keep this up, and I guess we'll see. I'm just starting, so, I'm just starting maintenance anyway, so I guess we'll see how it goes from here, but I feel really good about it. Okay, so about my vacations. This first vacation where I gained 8.2 pounds in 7 days, let's talk about that. It was Christmas. My mom was here in New Jersey. We did all the touristy things in New York for Christmas, which was really lovely, and we ate all the things. All of them. My mom loves sweets, and so I intentionally did a bit of a bakery tour. I took her to all the most famous and wonderful bakeries in New York, and we tried one of everything many times. And by the end of those 7 days, I was really feeling sluggish and tired and kind of just gross in general. And even though we were super active, we walked a ton of steps every single day. By the end of it, I was like, I just want protein. I don't want to see another carb again in my life. Like, by the end of it, my body was definitely saying, like, put the bread down. So that's also reassuring that if I listen to my body, which I know sounds so cliche, but if I just listen to how I actually feel, my body will point me in the right direction of what to eat generally in life. So that's good. On the second vacation, I was in Phoenix for my best friend's wedding. I stood in his wedding, and it was so wonderful. But we were very active the whole time in that, as you might imagine, the days leading up to a wedding, there's a lot of things to do and like run errands and take this here and build this thing and like put these things together and like, a lot of craziness. So there wasn't a lot of time to just eat in a leisurely way. And I was staying in this house that his family rented for his side of the bridal party. So all of his attendants and his family all stayed in this really big house. And, we didn't have a car while we were there, like a rental car. And there were many cars that everybody was kind of moving around in. But anyway, we weren't like out on our own. We were just like doing what everybody was doing and needed to help with. So, there was like one box of cereal for 12 people that lasted us like 6 days, which is amazing to me because before surgery, I could easily put away a family-sized box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch by myself in a single sitting. So as much as I can, I try to observe the way normal people eat. Again, people who aren't trying to like actively affect their weight. And, when people serve themselves a bowl of cereal, it's like a half cup. It's like this much. And so I would do that. And guess what? It was fine. Like I wasn't hungry for several hours after that. And I guess part of it is that I've never, because cereal is off plan, so I've never experimented with eating things off plan, but still trying to be good. You know what I mean? It's always been like, oh, if I'm eating off plan, I'm just going to go crazy. And so I feel like in life, in the future, if I'm in a situation where I'm not in my normal setting, I can still do okay and without gaining 1,000,000 pounds. And I feel really good about that. Really, really confident. And by the end of the 6 days, I never felt gross or terrible. I very much ate protein first at every meal. So if there was, meat and mac and cheese and rice, I would eat the meat and fill up on that and maybe have like a bite of rice or a bite of whatever. But like I'd fill up on the meat and I'd be fine. If we went out to a restaurant, I might have gotten like a sandwich and open up the sandwich and just eat the meat from the inside. And I'd be full at that point. It's not like I wanted to eat more. And again, like, these are foods that were kind of off plan. Maybe they were saucy. Maybe they were in like a sweet marinade or something. But I didn't feel like, oh, because I'm off plan, I'm just going to go like haywire. I still tried to eat in moderation. And I think that's where the sleeve really helps, is that I can eat small amounts and get full and remain not hungry for quite some time. I could eat 30 minutes later, but in a situation like that, 30 minutes later, you're no longer at a restaurant, so you can't do that. But, really kind of listening to my levels of hunger really, really helps. Even if you're not eating the foods that are on plan, eating in moderation helps. Who would have thunk? Anyway, so I felt really, really good after that second vacation. As far as when I'm back here and back in my normal routine, I do still actively watch my calories very closely. I track every single thing in my FitnessPal, so that's linked below. If you guys want to friend me on my FitnessPal, you can see all the things that I eat. But I am careful of that because I think sometimes calories can kind of get away from you, and I still try to stick it to the neighborhood of like 900 to 1,100 calories a day. I also try to very intentionally fast, so not very long fasts, but at least 12 hours. And basically what that means is dinner ends by like 7:30 or 8, and I just don't eat anything again until my protein coffee, which is at about 8 o'clock the next morning. Sometimes 9, sometimes the fast is a little bit longer. And it's really not hard, but if I didn't tell myself, okay, after this time, no more eating, I would fall into the trap of like nighttime snacking. nighttime cashews, nighttime almond butter, nighttime salami, the pepperoni, the cheese sticks, all like good things, but in excess when it's not really necessary, when you're not really hungry. So again, what I've been learning, and it's funny that I'm 15 months out and still actively learning, but what I'm learning is to listen to my levels of hunger, and sometimes that means I have to put guidelines on myself, and then that just helps shut out the craving noise if I have it. So after dinner, that's it until the next morning, and that really helps as well. I also try to kind of actively wait to see if I'm really hungry or not. Okay, so like sometimes in the afternoons, I'm not sure if I'm hungry or if I just want to snack because I'm like, it's 4:00 and I'm at work till 5, and like then I'm not gonna eat dinner till like 6. Like I don't know if it's like a mental thing or if I'm actively hungry. And some days I am, and some days I'm not. But if it's like 3:00 and I'm like, I gotta have that snack, then I force myself to wait till like 4:00 and see if I'm like, if my tummy's grumbling and if I'm like actively hungry, or if it was just like boredom or whatever at work. So that really helps as well. And I guess this is like the theme is actively listening to my levels of hunger, because I no longer have as much restriction as I used to. Like now I could in theory eat like every 30 minutes that I'm awake, but I don't want to do that. So I try to only eat when I'm hungry, and that's really helped. I also try to be aware of people who are actively trying to sabotage me. I have noticed this at work. Actually, Sarah, from Losing It For Me 42, pointed this out to me, and I hadn't even considered it. But there are often, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you see there are often snacks and cakes and cookies and snacks at work. And sometimes I'll go over there and I'll look, and maybe I'll have a bite of something, or maybe I won't, or whatever. But often my coworkers will say like, you're not going to have any, or like, you're only having one of that thing. And like they're absolutely incredulous. And like there's one lady in particular who always makes comments about my lunch, like every single day, like, that's all you're eating? And I hadn't thought about that. Maybe she's a little jealous. Maybe she's actively trying to sabotage me. I don't know if she like wants me to gain weight, but like I think maybe the way that I eat causes her to feel bad about the way that she eats. I don't know. I don't think about other people like that. But Sarah pointed out that Sarah was like, has she gained weight recently? And I was like, actually, she's like 7 months pregnant. So yeah. She's like, well, duh. She is gaining weight, and she's been thin her whole life, and you have lost weight and you look great. And yeah, she's jealous. And that just like blew my mind. I never would have thought of that. So now that I'm aware of it, it's easier for me to resist, because before I was kind of giving into peer pressure a little bit. I was like, when she would be like, that's all you're going to eat? I'd be like, no, I'm also going to eat this other thing. And, but now I am aware of where her comments are coming from, and it's easier for me to kind of shut it down or turn it off in my mind. So that has helped as well. So yeah, that's where I am. Christmas was so wonderful with my mom here. The last 2 years that I had been in New Jersey, we had gone back to New Orleans for Christmas. So this was actually my first Christmas in New Jersey. And we did all the things, Rockefeller Center, and like all the window displays and stuff like that. That was really nice. We saw a Broadway show. I love musicals, and this show in particular was absolutely wonderful. It's called Once on This Island. It's a revival from a show from like the 90s that I had seen before, but not on Broadway. Anyway, it was absolutely wonderful. We went to the Nutcracker Ballet on Christmas Eve, which is a tradition I've had since I was a little girl. So that was really nice. And my mom also helped me throw away or get rid of, donate a lot of my old clothes, which I feel like I had done this a couple of times before, but there were a few pieces I was kind of hanging on to because I thought she could fix them or we could get them tailored or altered or whatever. But as I was going through them and like kind of showing her the things in my closet, I realized these particular pieces that I was hanging on to all had this like emotional attachment for me and like really kind of sharp memories. Like this was the dress I wore to that wedding because nothing else fit and I felt really stupid and I felt like a big red house and I hate this stress, and I don't care if you can fix it. I just have to get rid of it. And like that, there were like, I don't know, 30 things. So that was like a very emotional process, because the clothing I had gotten rid of before were clothing that maybe didn't really have a lot of emotional attachment for me, but the ones I had been hanging on to had like specific memories. All of them had like specific memories attached, or like, this was the thing I wore in that picture. You remember that picture that I looked so stupid in, you know? And so that was like very cathartic to like rehash all those terrible memories with those stupid clothes and just like get rid of it. So that was good. What else? So being in Arizona for this wedding was just so nice. Like I mentioned, I stood on the groom's side. The groom is he's my best friend, and he stood in my wedding 5 years ago. And the other attendants on his side were all friends from college, all guys. And I have to say, when I was in college, all of my friends were guys. I've never been a girly girl. I've never been the kind of girl who has a lot of girlfriends, or like any. I've always just been one of the guys. And on some level, I feel like maybe that was related to my weight. I don't know, because I always had a boyfriend, and the guy I was dating was always like one of the guys, part of that group or whatever. So I don't know. It's not that I didn't like feel pretty or attractive. I think this is a whole separate thing, but I was always like really kind of nerdy and geeky and different. And the people who were also like that just happened to always be guys. I don't know. I've always had guy friends. Anyway, I was a little bit nervous or self-conscious about being with all of these group of friends again, because a lot of them hadn't seen me since I lost weight, and so I thought maybe it would be harder to be one of the guys now that I'm pretty. You know, like now that I'm more stereotypically feminine. I don't know. And it wasn't. And I was so relieved that nobody said anything about my weight at all, except for my friend's mom. She was like, wow, you've lost a lot of weight. You look really good. I mean, she's known me forever. And I was like, thanks, you have too. And she was like, thanks, I've been working really hard. And that's like a normal interaction for women to have. But other than that, it was like not a thing at all. Nobody mentioned my weight. And we like all fell back into like our really comfortable friendship that we had in college. And it was just so wonderful to be with some of my dearest friends all together. Because I've seen all of them like throughout the years many times, but like just being in the whole group again, as if it were the good old days, it was just really, really nice. So I was nervous about that and everything went fine. So yeah, that's where I am. Oh, you guys all made really wonderful New Year's resolutions. I only have one. I had told you guys this before, but I am now I have started training for a triathlon. I had said from the very beginning that once I reached my goal weight, I was going to start working on that, and I have. So I have looked up triathlons nearby. I'm going to do a half triathlon, which is 70.3 miles total. So like, I don't know how many miles swim and how many miles bike, but at the end, it's a half marathon run, 13.1 miles. Which I honestly feel like I don't even have to train for the swimming or the biking because I'm good with those, but I am so not a runner. So anyway, I've looked up half marathon running plans, and I'm going to do a couple of those until the actual race, which is in September 23rd in Atlantic City. I'll be doing the Ironman half triathlon. So anyway, I've started running again, which is crazy because as much as I say I hate running, it's really not that bad. Like, I do it and I run for a few miles and it's like, I can just do it, which is weird. It's so weird because I've never, ever, ever been a runner. And I know I exercise and I'm in good shape or whatever, but like, I never thought I could run. And the fact that I can just do it feels really good. Anyway, I think that's it for me. You guys, I'm going to be on The Naked Truth tomorrow, January 21st, 2018. If you want to come check us out, I will be live with Liz from Finding Elizabeth, Bariatric Badass. You just subscribe to her channel and it will alert you when we go live. I will put the link below. I hope you guys all get to watch. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk with you again soon. Bye.